Здравствуйте! Мы рады приветствовать вас на нашем видеокурсе. Начинаем изучение новой темы. 4 ноября 1950 года был принят один из ключевых документов Совета Европы – Конвенция о защите прав человека и основных свобод. Сегодня участниками Европейской конвенции являются все государства-члены Совета Европы. Европейская конвенция устанавливает неотъемлемые права и свободы для каждого человека и обязывает государства гарантировать эти права каждому человеку. Среди основных прав и свобод, закрепленных статьями Конвенции, особое место занимает право на справедливое судебное разбирательство, статья 6. Именно с текстом этой статьи мы и будем работать.
Exercise 1. Check your pronunciation. Body. Judicial body. Court. Competence. Rules of law. Principle of the rule of law. Proceedings. Independence. Impartiality.
Body. Judicial body. Court. Competence. Rules of law. Principle of the rule of law. Proceedings. Independence. Impartiality.
Exercise 2. Repeat after the teacher. Body. Judicial body. Court. Competence. Rules of law. Principle of the rule of law. Proceedings. Independence. Impartiality.
Body. Judicial body. Court. Competence. Rules of law. Principle of the rule of law. Proceedings. Independence. Impartiality.
Exercise 3. Repeat and remember the translation. Body.
Орган.
Judicial body.
Судебный орган.
Court.
Суд.
Competence.
Компетенция, правомочность.
Rules of law.
Нормы права.
Principle of the rule of law.
Принцип верховенства права.
Proceedings.
Судебное разбирательство.
Independence.
Независимость.
Impartiality.
Беспристрастность. Body.
Орган.
Judicial body.
Судебный орган.
Court.
Суд.
Competence.
Компетенция, правомочность.
Rules of law.
Нормы права.
Principle of the rule of law.
Принцип верховенства права.
Proceedings.
Судебное разбирательство.
Independence.
Независимость.
Impartiality.
Беспристрастность. Exercise 4. Give your translation of the words. Body. Judicial body. Court. Competence. Rules of law. Principle of the rule of law. Proceedings. Independence. Impartiality.
Body. Judicial body. Court. Competence. Rules of law. Principle of the rule of law. Proceedings. Independence. Impartiality.
Exercise 5. Give your translation of the words. Орган. Судебный орган. Суд. Компетенция, правомочность. Нормы права. Принцип верховенства права. Судебное разбирательство. Независимость. Беспристрастность.
Орган. Судебный орган. Суд. Компетенция, правомочность. Нормы права. Принцип верховенства права. Судебное разбирательство. Независимость. Беспристрастность.
Exercise 6. Let's practice. A disciplinary or administrative body can have the characteristics of a tribunal within the autonomous meaning of Article 6, even if it is not termed a tribunal or court in the domestic system.
Decisions taken by administrative authorities which do not themselves satisfy the requirements of Article 6, Paragraph 1 of the Convention must be subject to subsequent review by a judicial body that has full jurisdiction.
In the court's case law, a tribunal is characterized in the substantive sense of the term by its judicial function, that is to say, determining matters within its competence on the basis of rules of law and after proceedings conducted in a prescribed manner.
This expression reflects the principle of the rule of law, which is inherent in the system of protection established by the Convention and its protocols.
Article 6, Paragraph 1 of the Convention requires independence from the other branches of power, that is, the executive and the legislature, and also from the parties.
There is a close link between the concepts of independence and objective impartiality.
Вы все запомнили? Тогда идем дальше. Exercise 7. Check your pronunciation. Offense. Provided that. Review. To quash. Binding. Be inherent in. Be deprived of.
Offense. Provided that. Review. To quash. Binding. Be inherent in. Be deprived of.
Exercise 8. Repeat after the teacher. Offense. Provided that. Review. To quash. Binding. Be inherent in. Be deprived of.
Offense. Provided that. Review. To quash. Binding. Be inherent in. Be deprived of.
Exercise 9. Repeat and remember the translation. Offense.
Преступление, правонарушение.
Provided that.
При условии, что.
Review.
Пересмотр.
To quash.
Аннулировать, отменять.
Binding.
Обязательный для исполнения.
Be inherent in.
Быть свойственным, присущим.
Be deprived of.
Быть лишенным, лишиться. Offense.
Преступление, правонарушение.
Provided that.
При условии что?
Review.
Пересмотр.
To quash.
Аннулировать, отменять.
Binding.
Обязательный для исполнения.
Be inherent in.
Быть свойственным, присущим.
Be deprived of.
Быть лишенным, лишиться. Exercise 10. Give your translation of the words. Offense. Provided that. review, to quash, binding, be inherent in, be deprived of.
Offense, provided that. Review, to quash. Binding, be inherent in, be deprived of.
Exercise 11. Give your translation of the words. Преступление, правонарушение. При условии что? Пересмотр. Аннулировать, отменять. Обязательный для исполнения. Быть свойственным, присущим. Быть лишенным, лишиться.
Преступление, правонарушение. При условии что? Пересмотр. Аннулировать, отменять. Обязательный для исполнения. Быть свойственным, присущим. Быть лишенным, лишиться.
Exercise 12. Let's practice. Conferring the prosecution and punishment of minor criminal offenses on administrative authorities is not inconsistent with the Convention, provided that the person concerned is enabled to take any decision thus made against him before a tribunal that does offer the guarantees of Article.
Therefore, decisions taken by administrative authorities which do not themselves satisfy the requirements of Article 6, Paragraph 1 of the Convention must be subject to subsequent review by a judicial body that has full jurisdiction.
The defining characteristics of such a body include the power to quash in all respects, on questions of fact and law, the decision of the body below.
The power to give a binding decision which may not be altered by a non-judicial authority is inherent in the very notion of tribunal.
An organ not established according to the legislation would be deprived of the legitimacy required in a democratic society to hear individual complaints.
Молодцы, у вас все получилось. Вы хорошо усвоили лексику статьи 6 о праве каждого человека на справедливое судебное разбирательство. А какие же еще права закреплены в Европейской конвенции по защите прав человека? Вы узнаете из нашего видеосюжета. До скорой встречи!
Human rights. What are human rights? Well, human rights are the values which keep society fair, just and equal. They protect children, the elderly, people in care, victims of domestic violence, people with mental health problems, religious groups, teachers, soldiers, and yes, prisoners. They protect all of us. They protect you. Our human rights are protected by law. That means we can do something if our rights are attacked. But not everyone loves human rights. Some want to water them down, even scrap them. Our rights are under threat, so it's time to get educated. Societies used to be controlled by all-powerful rulers who could be horribly unjust. Kings only gave rights to people they liked. Over thousands of years, people fought for equality, and with every hard-won right came new laws that improved how we lived. But in the 20th century, brutal dictators came to power. They ruled by fear, like the kings of the past. Those hard-won rights, they were dismantled on an unimaginable scale. After World War II, the democracies got together and said, never again. They created a simple document setting out the basic rights we all need to live a dignified life. The European Convention puts rights, not rulers, at the heart of our society. Like the right to life, to liberty, to free speech. Then, in 1998, Parliament passed the Human Rights Act, which made our human rights part of UK law. This means public bodies like hospitals and schools must respect our rights, and if they don't, we can go to our local court to enforce them. Now, because of human rights, patients in hospitals must be treated with compassion. Journalists cannot be forced to reveal their sources. Soldiers must be given proper equipment. Gay people have to be treated equally, and the police cannot keep our DNA forever if we're innocent. We have to be treated fairly, at work, at home, in school, anywhere, everywhere. Our human rights are hard-won. They're part of our British heritage. We are proud of them. If we lose them, vulnerable people will pay the biggest price.